السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن شاء الله اليوم بنكمل جون 2016 بيبر 21 تاسك 3 talk about the part of database. طبعا احنا كنا اتكلمنا في المرة الماضية عن تاسك 1 تاسك 2. تاسك 1 كان evidence وتاسك 2 كان الدوكيمنت او اللي احنا قلنا الجزء بتاع المايكروسوفت وورد. النهارده هنتكلم على الجزء الثالث في الامتحان او تاسك 3 وهو الداتابيس. Always the examiner in this task always يعني gives the students paragraph to read the paragraph carefully before to answer the exam. Why? Because sometimes the examiner asks about the currency and also about the decimal points and so on and decimal places. You have to read the paragraph carefully before to start. Why? Because you have to know the type of currency and also the number of decimal places. Here the examiner said you are now going to prepare some reports for the company. Make sure all the currency values display the euro sign and are two decimal places. That's mean our currency should be euro and also the decimal places should be 2. Okay, number 20 is talk about using a suitable database package. Import the file J216 adsports.csv from where we can get the file from the supporting files. And how to import the file, that is the important point. It's very important point, the steps for importing files, because if you import the file wrong, that means you cannot complete the task and the exam is finished, and also you will get bad marks or 0. Therefore you have to take care, please, and you have to pay attention when I explain it to you now how to import the file. Okay, to import the file first, he said using suitable database. We have a more suitable database package to import the file, but we are using always Microsoft Access, say Office 2007 or 10 or 13, 16 or any other database package. But the suitable one and with the one which I have now, Office 2010. Just open Microsoft Access 2010 or any other office, okay? And when you open Microsoft Access for the first time, the blank database use only blank database. There are more templates, but don't use the templates, just use blank database. And before to click on the create, you have to choose where you save your file, and normally you have to save it in your work area. Click on the folder, then go to desktop. I think last time we did work area. I told you last time you have to create work area in the desktop by your name or by exam name and so on. For example, we have see a classwork online, for example, as a work area, and you can write the file name which you want. For example, you can leave it as database 3 or you can change it, it's up to you. Then after that press OK. Now you are in safety side because you know where you put the file in the desktop in the folder classwork online. Then click on create. You have empty blank, you have a blank database now, and you have to import the file as the examiner said. There are two ways to import the file. The first way, you can click on external data, okay, and from external data you have to click on text files. That is the first way. Or you can right click on the table, right click, and then click import, then text file. Choose which one you want and start it. For example, we will start by external data, then click on text files. If external data, then text files. Then after that you have to search the file you needed. we have a file in the supporting files in our desktop. Just click on browse, then click on desktop, and you have IG, for example, Igcse ICT, June 2016, paper 21. The file which I needed is J216AD sports. Click on the file and press open. Okay, then press OK. After that, the import text wizard window, it will be displayed, and there are some information for you. Yeah, it's not important to read all this information, just click on next. Then after that, you have to know the first row for any database should be field names. Therefore, you have to click on and tick first row contains field names. Don't forget this below, because if you forget that, that means the first row is dealing as a record, and the first row should be field names and the title for the columns. Therefore, you have to tick the first row contains field names, and then press next. Okay. Then after that, it will ask you about the field name, data types, and so on. Just click on next. Look at the exam. He will ask you about the primary key. What's the primary key? Primary key, it's the field, it's a unique field which cannot repeat it to the other record. Each record has a unique field, and this field not repeated to the other records. For example, my ID, it's not for others, and others has ID, it's not for me. Like also the car plate, it's not for others, and so on. The primary key, it's a unique field, not repeated to the other record. Each record has unique one, okay? Therefore, you have to know which one it will become the primary key. He said here, set the course code field as a primary key. Okay, you can choose my own primary key. Just click here and choose the course code as a primary key. Then click on next. Okay, attention about this point, because most of students forgot this point during the exam. Before to click finish, you have to read the exam carefully. He said use these field names and data types. That means you have to assign the data types with the field names. Each field name has a data type. So we have more data types, like text means alphanumeric. We have Boolean, like yes or no, true or false, on or off, male or female, and so on. We have also date. We have number, integer, number, decimal, number, currency, and number, percentage, and so on. Therefore, you have to make sure in all the fields in your table which you imported, or in your file which you imported, it's assignment with that data types which the examiner gave it you in the exam. Therefore, just click on advanced and check each field name with its data type. The first one, course code, should be text. Yes, it's text. And activity is text, and type text. Rating, long integer or integer, you can change it, but you can leave it as long integer the same. The integer or long integer same. The difference in the length of the numbers. Location should be text also. The examiner, he said the location should be text. Then what? Then the residential should be Boolean. Boolean means yes or no. And he said to display as yes or no. Okay. Then after that, the course cost should be currency. He said that. If you look at the exam, the course cost, it's a number, but what the type of number is currency, because we have 4 types of number. Number integer or number decimal means a double, or number currency or number percentage. Here he says the course cost should be numeric currency. Therefore, we need to change the course cost into currency. And the last one, duration. Duration is a number integer. You can leave it as long integer, or you can change into integer. It's up to you. and this one also you can change into integer if you want. Then after you make sure you change everything it's correctly, you can click on OK and press finish. Just save import setup, leave it, it's not important to save the import steps, and close. Attention about important point. Sometimes when you import the table came and also the same name of table came and by error, means J216 at sports come beside it error. Why error? Because your language in your device should be UK, because sometimes the examiner saying date, and the date, if your device is US, that means the date is started by month, then day, then year, and UK the date started by day, then month, then year. Therefore when you import the table or when you import the file, the date it corrupted, then the error it will become. Therefore you have to make sure your computer is UK language type. How can I make sure UK the language? It's so easy, just to go to control panel, okay, and from change date, time or numbers format, make sure your format is English United Kingdom. Please don't forget that step, because most of the students during the exam import the file and the error it comes to them. You have to make sure your language is UK, then your table or your file it will come correctly without any error. Then after you import the file, you have to go inside the design view to complete your importing. Right click on the table, then click on design view. Okay, I have a design view for the table now. The table design contains from the field name and data type. That's called the file structure, okay? And also we have here the formatting of each field. We can change it as the examiner asks us. The course code is text is okay, no problem. The field length or field size 250, you can leave it or you can minimize it, it's up to you. Activity is text, time is text, number is a number and integer, and also text is a text, but residential yes or no should be changed down in the format into yes or no also. But what you did in the advanced, you have to do it in the design view. Yes or no, yes or no, true, false, on, off, on, off. Please take care about that, because most of students forgot that point, and the boolean it comes 0 and -1, not yes or no. And also the course cost is currency. He asked us at the beginning of the exam, the currency should be euro. You have to change into euro, and he said the decimal places should be 2. Also you can change the decimal places into euro. Then after that, right click on the table name or file name and save. Don't forget to save, because if any problem happens suddenly during the exam, like the computers turn it off, like the wires off, like anything problem happen, you can return it back to your file easily. But you have to save it. Then in the exam he said take screenshot evidence showing the field names and data type used in the table. Place this screenshot in your evidence document. Okay, if we have an evidence document from last time, I will check I have it or not. We have here June 2016 paper 2-1. We have evidence from last time. We did evidence for step 4 and now step 5. Step 5 he said take evidence for the data types. You can just press print screen key in the keyboard. Then after that go to evidence and Control V or right click and paste. To be clear, you can cropping. Just double click on the picture, then go to crop and resize it. Always resize which you need only. Now you can cropping, look. You can crop and you can leave the part you needed from the pictures. For example, I need this one. You can resize. You can resize it to be big and so clear. Okay, now the data file and the field name and data type is so clear for each one. You can do more, resize it if you want. It's up to you during the exam to do it. Then after that, number 21. He said create data form, data entry form, which will be include all the fields from the add sports table. And he said use a drop down menu in the location field to accept only Cornwall, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and France. Okay, what does that mean? If you, for example, go to hospital or go to bank or in your school to input your information, you will see the secretaries or the cashiers or the reception has a screen to input the information. That screen, it's called data entry form. And data entry form, if you remember, I already explained it in chapter 7 when I explained the chapters for system analysis. I said the second stage in system analysis to design, and the second step after drawing a flow chart to design data entry form, which contain the details about the, for example, customers, or details about patients, about students, and so on. But that screen which contains details called data entry form. He wants for me in this exam, he wants for me to create data entry form which will include all the fields from what, from where, from the file which I already imported. Okay, then he wants more in the form. He wants for me to create drop down menu, and that drop down menu to help us choose one town or one city from Cornwall or Ireland or Scotland or Wales or France. How can I do that? It's so easy. It just take just 2 minutes. How can I do that? You can easily, okay, after you finish from the design view, just close the design view and open the table or the file to make sure all the fields are displayed, and also to make sure the course cost, it comes by euro, and the residentials come by yes or no. Then after that, click on create. When you click on create, we have create tables, queries, templates, forms, reports, macros, and so on. What I want form. Always I have to use form wizard. Why? Because it's easy, and also the form wizard can select the field directly from table. Just click on the form wizard. Then after that, choose the table you want to do form for it, data entry form for it. Then after that, select all the fields from this arrows. Then click on next, and we have more styles. What layout would you like for your form? We have a more layout, but the best one is the column. Then next, and what title do you want for your form? He didn't mention about the title, and he didn't ask me to change the title. He didn't give me any title. I can leave it as like this. Yeah, this is a problem because he should give me title, and I have to write the title for the form, but I have to leave it now because he didn't give me anything about the title of the form. Then click on finish. When you click finish, okay, the form is creating. Look, the wizard create form for you. That form has all the information about the table. When I want to see how many records, I can look at down here. There are 300 records. If I want to go to the last record, click here for last record. If I want to add a new record, click the navigation button for the new to add new one. Okay. He wants for me to do something else. He wants for me to change the location into drop down menu. he wants only choose the town. No need for me to type the town, okay? Because the drop down menu easy to use, and also less error, and also easy to update, and we can use it faster than typing. And we have a menus, and there are many features for and many advantage for the drop down menu. I will talk about the advantage later, but let me now show you how to create drop down menu. To create drop down menu is so easy. Just right click on the form name from the taskbar here, then click on design view. Okay, the design view will show you all the field names and all the values for each field name. Then I have to change location. How can I change location? It's so easy. Just click on location values here and press delete key to delete location. Now I don't have location field because I have to change it. That is a good way. There are more ways, but that is a good way. Why? Because I have to do it from new one. And he said drop down menu. Drop down menu, we have here in the controlled menu, I have more tools to help me for designing list, or designing drop down menu, or designing command buttons, or writing, or do radio buttons, and so on. Okay, let me explain today the drop down menu. Which tool here used for drop down menu? The tool which used for drop down menu, it's called combo box. That one. Just click on combo box and comes here in the place of location, and just left click. When you do left click, the window of combo box wizard, it will come and will ask you to, do you want combo box to get the value from another table or query, or you want to type the value by yourself, or you want to file a record on my form based on the value I selected in my combo box. In this case, I want type the value by myself. Therefore, I have to click on I will type in the values that I want. Then click on next. He will give you a new window for combo box wizard to ask you type what do you want. Okay, from the exam, I have here the first one, Cornwall. Okay, and I have to type it here. Then the second one is Ireland. Third one is Scotland. And fourth one is Wales. And fifth one is France. Okay, now I finished for all my menus. I already typing in this column. Then click on next. Okay, where I want put this information. I want put this information for the value of letter use, or I have to store it in the value in my table. Yes, I have to store it in my value in my table. Then I have to click store. Then after that, click on the place which I want stored the information in. If you remember, the field is called location. It is called location. Therefore, I have to choose location from the field names and then press next. What label would you like for your combo box? Label is location. And then press finish. Yes, location is coming here. I can move and I can adjust it exactly like the field names, the other field names up and below. Then move this one from the gray box, this one, move it also and put down. Now you finished. Why? Because you created the drop down menu for location. How can I see? Just save what you did for any urgent case and then click on view. You can click view from the toolbars, or you can right click here and for view. Yes, now in the location, click on the Cornwall and click on the arrow at the end of the field names to see all the drop down menus. Look, now I have a drop down menus. When I ask you to say the benefit of using drop down menu, you will see, yes, drop down menu, it's easier than typing because I have to choose only. And also drop down menus has a less errors when maybe the spelling mistakes happen when I typing my information in the location, and also less spacing capacity because I'm not typing every time, it's already choosing. And it's easier for someone, okay, has a problem for typing or something like this. Okay, that means the drop down menu is easier, fast, and also less error. The examiner will ask me to do evidence about my work. Evidence 6, place into your evidence document screenshot to show the drop down menu and how you have limited data entry to these 5 values only. Okay, how can I do that? It's so easy. Just click on the arrow for the drop down menu and press print screen key. Then go to evidence and evidence 6 location field screenshot here showing data entry limited. Below step number 21, do Control V or right click and paste. Then cropping to display clearly and also to do nice screenshot for the examiner. Okay, now I can resize it more and more. Last time I told you can put 2 screenshots per page, is better for you. And if you look at print preview, you will see, look, it's better to do as like this because the examiner can see the answers and also inshallah you can take a star easily. Okay, don't forget to click on the save, okay, file save or save disk. Why? Because for any urgent case during the exam. Now we will go to second step, number 22. Number 22, he said adding the following record to the add sports table using your form. If you remember, I told you when I import the file, I told you the file here, we can, the file, it's table, this table, and each row, it's called record, each column referred to the field, okay, any database represented by table. Why by table? Because table contains from columns and rows, and all the columns refer to the fields, and all the rows refer to the record. He asked here to enter new record. I can enter it in the table, but he said add the following record to the add sport table using your form. If I have to adding in form, how to add in form? It's so easy. Just from the form which I already created now, click here to add a new record and then start to type the new record. Course code is CO029. Then take care about the spelling mistake, please. Take care about the spelling mistake, because if you did spelling mistakes when you create a query and you want search or filter, you can not. Why? Because we have maybe 1 letters or 1 numbers by mistakes miss. We have also here type is water, okay, and rating is 4, rating 4, and location is Cornwall. Okay, here I'm not typing, just I click on Cornwall. Then residential is yes. I have to type yes. It's better to do yes or no, also drop down menus or list menu. Therefore, when I evaluated my form, I will say that during my evaluation. Okay, course cost. If you remember, course cost is by its cost and by euro. He said here 471 and 6. 471, when I type 471, it comes automatically by euro. Then look, it comes by euro because I already designed my table and I changed the data types into currency and euro. Duration is 6. Yes, I finished the record. I already entered all the details of the new record. What he needs from me, he said evidence 7, place in your evidence document screenshot to showing this data in your form. Yeah, everything, look at the examiner, everything he asked to give him evidence because he wants to know you already did this, no anyone else, or you didn't copy paste from someone else and so on. Therefore, always the examiner asks you to give him evidence about your work. And every time I will tell you, please click on the print screen, then go to evidence, print screen, then go to evidence document, and after that evidence 7, just right click and paste, or you can Control V as well. You can also cropping to do better and better display for your examiner. Okay, I'm cropping now. You can resize, it's up to you. I told you put 2 screenshots per page. It's up to you. You can print it out 100 pages during the exam. No one can tell you why. And click on save. Any step you did, you have to click on save. Okay, then we will go now to step number 23. Step number 23, he said evaluated the design of your data entry form. What do I mean by evaluate the design of your data entry form? Okay, suppose you finish chapter 7, suppose you read and listen the first video for me for chapter 7, how to create and design data entry form. Any data entry form should be contained from suitable title. Okay, for example, I have a form for students detail. Also, then after the suitable title, I need details about the students like ID, name, address, telephone number, birth date, emails, and mobile numbers, for example, grades, and so on. That's called details, field names, okay? And at the end, we need navigation buttons. What I mean by navigation button means one button for delete record, one button for search about record, one button for new record, one button, and so on. And if you look at the screen for the cashiers or receptions or secretaries or doctors, you will see the data entry form contains command buttons. That button is called navigation. But any entry form should be contains suitable titles, then details like field names and the value for each one, then the navigation buttons. Okay, we look now about our form and we'll see is this available or not. Okay, look at the form here. You will see the title, it's not suitable, and that means there is no appropriate title for the form here in this case. And yes, we have a field names as the details, and we have the field length for each one. Someone is big, someone is small, and the long length, it's not good. The short length, it's also not good, and so on. Why? Because long length takes too much memory, and short length maybe we need more letters or more numbers, and we have a short spaces to enter, and that's also makes problems. Okay, the distance between the field names is okay. That means consistent spaces. If I have the formatting is okay, yes. The formatting for all the fields is okay, and the distance it's okay, that's mean consistent, but there is no navigation buttons to transfer it from form to record, from record to record, from form to form, to close the form, and so on. Okay, what can I do and how can I write my evaluation in the step number 23? Okay, if we look at we have here, I will show you now how to write it quickly because no time. Log June 2016 paper 21, the evidence. Step number we need to write the evaluations here. Therefore, I will open the evidence here. Look at the evaluation. I told you we have a consistent layout or formatting because all the field names has the same formatting. That's good. Consistent layout or formatting. And also the drop down menu. Yeah, I forgot to write about the drop down menu, and because I already explained to you, I forgot to speak about it in evaluations. Now it's a very important part in the form, the drop down menu. Why? Because reduce data entry errors. I told you we need appropriate spacing between the field, and we need navigation button. Here in the form, no navigation button. We need a title, appropriate title. Here we need appropriate use of title. We can choose that. Okay. In our evidence, we can write the same evaluation. Consistent layout or formatting. Drop down list used to reduce data entry errors. Appropriate spacing between fields. No navigation buttons. Appropriate use of title. That is the evaluate. If you remember in chapter 7 also the part of evaluated, I told you evaluation is the same. The evaluation is the same like the first stage in analysis. Analysis means to collect information about the old system. Evaluation to collect information about the new system and comparing with the old system. Here evaluated means to tell your opinion about the designing. Is it okay or not? You can ask the user, is it sufficient or not? It needs modification or not? But if you are the user, you can say, yes, the entry form is okay because all the field names is clear. There is consistent space between the fields. There is drop down menu easy for using and faster, and also reduce data entry errors. Also, we have a suitable title. I can know that form talk about what. We have a navigation buttons to transfer from record to record easily, from form to form easily, and so on. Also we need and so on. That is means evaluation, to say your opinion about the data entry form. Okay. Then after that, he said, number 24, import the file j216rating.csv as a new table in your database. Exactly the same steps for importing the table. What I did at the beginning of this video and at the beginning of this task for importing the table. You can import the second table. How? It's so easy. Just close now the form and close this table. And now, if you remember, go to external data and text file, then click on browse. Then choose the second table you want, J216 rating. Then open. And press OK the same way. Next. Then the first row should be contains field names. Next. Then next until the primary key. Which one is primary key? Is activity rating. Choose the activity rating and click on next. Then here, he didn't mention about to check the data types for each field. Therefore, not necessary to click on advanced. Just click on finish. Yes, I have now two tables. The first one is add sports and second one is J216 add sports. Never mind about this one because that's only in my computer. It's not clear or not displayed in your computer. I have two tables here. He said after to import the table you have, or import the file, you have to set activity rating as a primary key. That's what I did. And you have to create one-to-many relationship as a link between the rating field in the J216 at sports and table and the activity rating field in J216 rating table. Okay, what's the mean by relationship and what's the mean by one-to-many relationship, and how can I do one-to-many relationship? Please attention with me to know what's the mean by relationship and how to create it and how to create especially one-to-many relationship. Okay, first let me explain what I mean by relationship. Relationship, now we have two types of database. The first one, it's called flat file database, and second one, it's called a relational database. If you know theory, you know that's in chapter 6 is talk about the application of database. We have the first one, flat file database, means all the details of the information in one file. And for example, now if I have a school has grade 1 to grade 12, I can collect all the information of all the students in one table. You know, like the name, address, email, telephone number, the marks, the form names, and so on. All of the information I have to put it in one table. Okay, but that is the wrong way, and the person which did this, I have to tell him the bad programmer or bad designer. Why? Because I will tell you now. For example, if I have form teacher for grade, if I have a form teacher for grade 4, say his name is Ahmed, okay, and one field it's form teacher. But I have to enter Ahmed 25 times. Why? Because I have 25 students in grade 4A, for example. That means every time when I input the information, I have to input the form teacher Ahmed, the form teacher Ahmed. That's mean double, that's mean I have to type twice, okay, triples, and so on. And also, for example, I have to type all the information for the students every time, 2 times, 3 times, if I want, for example, input the marks of the students, and so on. That it's not good way, and the examiner always asks about this. Okay, what can I do? I do relational database. The second type of database or data types is relational database. Relational database means I can do the details of the students in separate tables. Yani one table includes the information about students, one table includes the information about the subjects, one table include one file includes the information about the form teachers of the school, and I have to do link between the master file of the students and the other files. That link called relationship. When you do link between the tables, and one table I have contains a name of students and address and telephone number and so on, all the main information. One table contains the marks of math. Then we can link between the master file and transaction file. This link called relationship, and the database called relational database. Okay, what is the benefit now? The benefit is no need to type twice and easy to update, because if I want to change the form teacher, just I change it only one time, not 25 times. And less capacity of memory and less time for entering the data, okay? If the examiner asks you an exam about the benefit of relationship, you have to tell him easy to update, less error, less time to, and also less capacity of memory, and no need to type the data twice. That's common exam, the theory and part, and you will see that by yourself when you answer the past paper. Okay, now how can I create relationship? It's so easy. Just click on database tools and then click on relationships. Okay, that's not happening in your computer. It comes only to my computers, but when you start in your computer it does not happen. Okay, just click the database tools relationship, and then drag the first table, then the second table, or in your software, for example June Office 2013 or Office 2016 or Office 7, there is displaying window for adding the table. Now I already dragged the two tables. I have two tables here, this and this. I'm dragging to do relationship between them, or two files. Okay, you have to make sure when you create the relationship, to make sure from what? From where to where. I need here in the exam, he said a link between rating field, where in J2 or J16 add sports, and the activity rating field in J21 rating. That's mean from the table AD sports to the table rating. Yes, that one is first and that one is second. Which field I want? Rating. From rating to what? To activity rating. Just drag rating, just pressing the left key of the mouse and dragging to activity rating. Now the window for relationship, it comes and he will show you you have relationship between activity rating and rating, one to many. Just click on create, and after that look at the link it comes. If you want to do screenshot and you want to display the window again, just right click here and press edit relationship. You can now take screenshot, print screen as your evidence, then go to evidence and step 24 evidence relationship between two tables and press Ctrl V. You can cropping if you want crop. Every time I repeat it because I want from you to do it, and don't forget to do it in the exam, please. Cropping is better for you and it's nice shape. You can resize it, it's up to you, down or in other sides. That is the step number 24 for evidence 9, relationship between two tables. Okay, after that you have to save your press OK and save it, then close it. We don't need it now. Look at number 25. Yes, that is the main part. 25 is talk about the report, how to create report. Okay, I will leave this part for the second videos inshallah, and I want from you only now to start to database and import the tables, then create data entry form, then after that create the drop down menus, then after that input the record, do screenshot, evaluate your data entry form, then after that create the relation, import the second table and create the relation between the two files, one to many. Thank you for listening and see you inshallah next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.